Ladies and gentlemen, take a deep breath for just a moment. Not because everything around you is perfect. Not because every question has been answered. Not because every prayer has already become visible. Take a deep breath because peace does not have to wait for perfect circumstances. Sometimes the greatest act of courage is choosing to breathe while life is still unfolding. There are seasons when it feels like nothing is moving. You wake up hoping today will finally be the day everything changes, but the same doors remain closed. The same challenges keep appearing. The same fears whisper that maybe your opportunity has passed. If you've ever felt forgotten, overlooked, or exhausted from waiting, know this. A delay is not the same thing as a denial. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean movement has stopped. Life has a way of making us believe that if we cannot control every detail, then everything must be falling apart. We try to predict tomorrow before we've even finished today. We replay conversations. We imagine worst-case scenarios. We carry burdens that haven't even happened yet. We lose sleep over problems that haven't arrived, and we spend precious moments worrying about outcomes that are still being written. But what if the breakthrough you're praying for is being prepared while you're learning patience? What if the opportunity you're searching for is searching for the version of you that refuses to quit? What if every unanswered question is making room for a greater answer than you ever imagined? Sometimes the greatest transformations happen quietly. A seed beneath the soil looks invisible to everyone standing above it. If someone judged that seed too early, they would say nothing is happening. But underneath the surface, roots are growing. Strength is developing. Life is forming in places no one can see. Your life may feel like that seed today. People may not recognize your progress because it isn't visible yet. They may assume you've stopped growing simply because they cannot measure what's happening inside you. But invisible growth is still growth. Silent progress is still progress. Hidden preparation is still preparation. Too often we compare our beginning to someone else's breakthrough. We scroll through pictures of success while sitting in our own season of uncertainty. We wonder why everyone else seems to be moving forward while we remain in the same place. Comparison steals the joy of becoming because it convinces us that someone else's timeline should become our own. The truth is, every life has its own rhythm. Every journey has its own lessons. Every purpose has its own timing. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are becoming. There are moments when disappointment convinces you to lower your expectations. You stop dreaming as boldly because disappointment has taught you to expect less. You begin settling for survival instead of believing for growth. But difficult seasons were never designed to shrink your vision. They were designed to strengthen your character. Character is built when no one is applauding. Faith grows when nothing makes sense. Hope becomes powerful when circumstances suggest giving up. Anyone can celebrate after the victory, but it takes remarkable courage to keep believing before the evidence appears. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet aren't the ones who never cried. They're the ones who cried and kept going. They doubted but kept walking. They were afraid but refused to stop. Strength isn't the absence of emotion. Strength is choosing not to let emotion decide your future. Maybe you've experienced rejection. Maybe someone underestimated your potential. Maybe you've heard words that made you question your worth. Remember this. Another person's opinion does not determine your value. Rejection may redirect your path, but it cannot erase your purpose. Some closed doors are actually protecting you from rooms where you would never have flourished. Some endings are making space for healthier beginnings. Some disappointments become the foundation of your greatest testimony because they teach you lessons that comfort never could. There is incredible freedom in releasing what you cannot control. You cannot control how people respond to you. You cannot control every circumstance. You cannot control yesterday. But you can control your attitude today. You can choose gratitude instead of bitterness. You can choose perseverance instead of surrender. You can choose hope instead of fear. Small choices repeated consistently create extraordinary lives. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep growing, keep believing, even when nobody notices, especially when nobody notices. Success is rarely built in one dramatic moment. More often, it is built through ordinary days filled with quiet consistency. The days when you keep working although recognition hasn't arrived. The days when you keep improving although results seem distant. Those ordinary days become the foundation of extraordinary stories. Do not underestimate what one faithful step can accomplish. Mountains are climbed one step at a time. Books are written one page at a time. Healing happens one day at a time. Transformation occurs one decision at a time. You don't need every answer before taking your next step. Sometimes clarity comes after movement, not before it. Waiting until every fear disappears may keep you standing still forever. Courage is not having complete certainty. Courage is moving forward despite uncertainty. There is a future version of you that will look back on this season with gratitude. That version of you will understand why certain opportunities didn't happen immediately. That version of you will recognize that the waiting developed wisdom, resilience, compassion, and strength that immediate success never could have produced. One day you'll realize that what felt like everything falling apart was actually everything coming together in a way you couldn't yet understand. So stop measuring your life only by what you can currently see. Some of the most meaningful work is happening beneath the surface. Your resilience is growing. Your perspective is expanding. Your confidence is becoming less dependent on circumstances and more rooted in who you are becoming. Choose peace over panic. Choose trust over constant worry. Choose gratitude over endless complaints. Refuse to let temporary circumstances convince you that your story has reached its final chapter. The page you're living today is not the entire book. Keep your heart open. Keep your vision alive. Keep believing that brighter days are ahead, even if today's sky looks cloudy. Every sunrise begins after a long night. Every new season begins with change. Every comeback begins with someone deciding not to quit. Walk forward with confidence. Speak with hope. Live with expectation. Your present situation is temporary, but the strength you're building will remain long after this season has passed. Keep moving forward with quiet confidence, knowing that every challenge is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the incredible future waiting just beyond what you can currently see. There are moments in life when it feels as though everything has come to a complete standstill. You wake up with hope, believing today might finally be different, only to find yourself facing the same unanswered questions, the same obstacles, and the same uncertainty. In those moments, the easiest thing to lose is your peace. Your mind begins racing ahead of your future, creating stories that have not happened and imagining outcomes that may never come. Fear becomes louder than hope, and worry starts convincing you that because you cannot see progress, there must not be any progress at all. But peace is not something you discover after every problem has been solved. Peace is a decision you make while the questions still exist. It is choosing to believe that your current situation is not the final chapter of your story. So many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment before allowing themselves to breathe, smile, or rest. They tell themselves, I'll have peace when I get the promotion. I'll have peace when the relationship is restored. I'll have peace when the finances improve. I'll have peace when every uncertainty disappears. But if your peace depends on perfect circumstances, then your peace will always remain out of reach because life will always present another challenge. There will always be another mountain to climb, another decision to make, another season to navigate. That is why peace must become stronger than your circumstances. It must be rooted in something deeper than what you can see today. Waiting has a way of testing every part of your character. It reveals whether your confidence depends on visible results or on the quiet assurance that every day has a purpose. Waiting teaches patience, but more importantly, it teaches perspective. It reminds you that some of life's greatest blessings require preparation before they can be fully received. If everything happened the moment you wanted it to, you might arrive at opportunities without the wisdom, maturity, or strength needed to sustain them. Sometimes the waiting season is not empty. It is full of lessons that cannot be learned any other way. Think about how nature works. A tree does not become tall overnight. Long before anyone admires its branches, its roots are spreading beneath the ground where no one can applaud them. Those unseen roots are what give the tree the strength to survive storms, heavy winds, and changing seasons. In the same way, your life is developing unseen strength during the seasons when you feel overlooked. The quiet days, the difficult days, and even the disappointing days are building a foundation that will support the future you have been hoping for. When uncertainty surrounds you, your thoughts become one of your greatest battles. Your mind will often present fear as if it were fact. It will tell you that because you have waited this long, nothing will ever change. It will remind you of every disappointment while ignoring every victory you have already overcome. That is why you must become intentional about what you allow to occupy your thoughts. Replace panic with expectation. Replace constant worrying with quiet confidence. Refuse to let fear write a story that reality has not yet confirmed. Choosing peace does not mean pretending life is easy. It does not mean ignoring pain or denying that challenges exist. It means refusing to let those challenges become greater than your hope. It means believing that today's struggle does not have the authority to define tomorrow's possibilities. Every sunrise is proof that darkness has an expiration date, and every new day carries opportunities you could not see the night before. The strongest people are often not those who have experienced the fewest problems, but those who learn to remain steady while walking through them. They discovered that panic never solved a problem, but peace gave them the clarity to take the next step. Instead of allowing fear to control every decision, they learned to trust the process, remain patient, and keep moving forward one day at a time. That quiet confidence became the foundation for every breakthrough that followed. One of the hardest seasons anyone can experience is the season when nothing seems to be happening. You continue showing up, giving your best, learning, growing, and believing, yet the results you have been hoping for remain out of sight. It is easy to assume that silence means failure, or that delay means your dreams have somehow been forgotten. But some of the most important work in life happens where no one can see it. Just because there is no visible evidence today does not mean there is no progress. The greatest transformations often begin long before they become noticeable. Think about the process of building a strong foundation for a house. Before the beautiful walls are raised or the roof is completed, countless hours are spent digging deep into the ground. To someone passing by, it may look like nothing impressive is taking place. There are no decorations, no finished rooms, and no signs of the final masterpiece. Yet the builders understand that without a solid foundation, everything constructed above it will eventually collapse. In the same way, your life is often being strengthened beneath the surface before the visible success arrives. The preparation may not attract attention, but it is creating the stability you will need for the future. Many people become discouraged because they measure progress only by what they can immediately see. They celebrate visible achievements, but overlook the invisible victories that are shaping their character. Every challenge that teaches patience, every disappointment that develops resilience, every obstacle that strengthens your determination is preparing you in ways that success alone never could. Growth is not always measured by promotions, recognition, or applause. Sometimes the greatest evidence of progress is becoming calmer in situations that once overwhelmed you, wiser after making mistakes, and stronger after surviving seasons you once thought would break you. Closed doors can be especially painful because they often leave you wondering what you did wrong. You question your abilities, your decisions, and even your future. But not every closed door is a sign that you have failed. Sometimes a closed door is simply a redirection towards something that better fits the person you are becoming. Opportunities that seem perfect today may not align with the future waiting ahead. What feels like rejection in one season may later become the very reason you arrive exactly where you were meant to be. Preparation also requires patience because lasting success cannot be rushed. Imagine trying to harvest fruit from a tree that has only recently been planted. No matter how desperately you want the harvest, forcing the process will only damage the tree. It must develop strong roots, healthy branches, and steady growth before it can produce fruit that lasts. Your own journey follows a similar pattern. Every lesson you learn, every skill you develop, and every challenge you overcome is adding another layer of strength that will support your future responsibility. There will always be voices telling you that you are taking too long, that someone else is moving faster, or that you should have reached your destination by now. Do not allow those voices to determine your pace. Every person's path unfolds differently. And comparing your preparation to someone else's results will only distract you from your own purpose. What matters is not how quickly you arrive, but how prepared you are when the opportunity finally comes. Even in seasons that appear ordinary, something meaningful is taking place. Your confidence is becoming more stable. Your perspective is becoming clearer. Your ability to handle pressure is increasing. These are not small achievements. They are the hidden victories that prepare you for greater responsibilities. When your opportunity finally appears, you will realize that every lesson, every delay, every unexpected turn, and every quiet season was shaping you into someone capable of carrying the blessings that once seemed so far away. One of the fastest ways to lose confidence is to spend your life measuring your journey against someone else's. In a world where success is constantly displayed, it becomes easy to believe that everyone else is moving ahead while you are standing still. You see people celebrating promotions, launching businesses, reaching milestones, or accomplishing dreams that look similar to the ones in your own heart. Before long, comparison begins to whisper that you are behind, that you have missed your opportunity, or that your best days belong to someone else. But comparison has a dangerous way of hiding the full story. You are only seeing a small portion of another person's journey, never the sacrifices, disappointments, failures, and unseen battles that helped shape their success. Every life unfolds at its own pace. Just because someone else's breakthrough comes earlier does not mean yours will never arrive. A flower does not bloom because the flower beside it has opened. It blooms when its own season arrives. The same is true for your life. There is no value in rushing your growth simply because someone else appears to be moving faster. Real progress is not measured by speed but by steady development. The person you are becoming is far more important than the timeline you are following. When you constantly compare yourself with others, you begin overlooking the victories already taking place in your own life. You forget how much you have grown, how many obstacles you have overcome, and how much stronger you have become. Instead of celebrating your progress, you criticize yourself for not being somewhere else. Gratitude disappears and frustration takes its place. Yet every step forward, no matter how small it seems, deserves to be recognized. Small victories create lasting momentum, and consistent growth eventually leads to remarkable transformation. Another danger of comparison is that it can cause you to chase goals that were never truly meant for you. Sometimes people pursue careers, relationships, or lifestyles simply because they admire someone else's success. They spend years climbing a ladder only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. Your journey is meant to reflect your unique strengths, values, and purpose. Trying to copy someone else's path may lead you away from the opportunities that are actually waiting for you. Your past also has a way of creating unhealthy comparisons. You may compare your present self with who you thought you would be by now. Perhaps you imagined reaching certain goals years ago, and because life unfolded differently, disappointment settled into your heart. But life rarely follows the exact schedule we create. Unexpected challenges, lessons, and changes often shape us into stronger individuals than we would have become through a smooth and predictable path. Being on a different timeline does not mean you are on the wrong one. Instead of asking why someone else is succeeding, ask how you can continue becoming the best version of yourself. Focus your energy on learning, improving, and remaining faithful to the work in front of you. The habits you build today, the discipline you develop, and the character you strengthen will produce results that comparison could never achieve. Every day you invest in your own growth is another step toward a future that reflects your unique calling rather than someone else's expectations. The most fulfilled people are rarely those who have everything first. They are the ones who have learned to appreciate their own journey without constantly looking over their shoulder. They understand that life is not a race against others, but a personal journey of growth, resilience, and purpose. When you stop competing with everyone around you, you gain the freedom to celebrate others without diminishing yourself. You begin to see every challenge as an opportunity to grow instead of proof that you are falling behind. As you continue walking your own path with confidence and patience, you discover that the future waiting for you is not a copy of someone else's story. It is a masterpiece being written one faithful step at a time. Success is often imagined as one extraordinary moment, a single opportunity that changes everything overnight. But the truth is that lasting success is rarely built in dramatic moments. It is built in the quiet decisions you make every single day. It is choosing to keep going when no one is watching, choosing to keep learning when progress feels slow, and choosing to remain hopeful when the results are still invisible. Great lives are not created by occasional bursts of motivation, but by consistent actions repeated over time. Every small step you take today is laying another brick in the foundation of the future you are building. There will be days when you feel inspired and full of confidence, but there will also be days when doubt tries to convince you that your efforts are meaningless. Those are the moments that matter most. Anyone can keep moving when the path is easy, but true character is revealed when the road becomes difficult. Persistence is not about never feeling discouraged. It is about refusing to let discouragement have the final word. The people who eventually reach remarkable destinations are usually the ones who simply decided not to stop when quitting seemed easier. Courage is another quality that grows through practice rather than perfection. Many people believe they must eliminate every fear before taking the next step, but courage does not wait for fear to disappear. Courage moves forward even while uncertainty remains. Every meaningful opportunity in life requires stepping into the unknown. If you wait until you feel completely ready, you may spend your entire life standing still. Growth begins where comfort ends, and every courageous decision expands your confidence for the challenges that lie ahead. Consistency has a quiet power that is often underestimated. Small efforts may not seem impressive from one day to the next, but over weeks, months, and years they produce extraordinary results. A single workout may not transform your health, one chapter may not complete a book, and one act of kindness may not change the world, but repeated daily. These small actions create a life of lasting impact. Never underestimate what steady faithfulness can accomplish. The smallest disciplines practiced consistently will always outperform occasional moments of intense effort. Gratitude also plays a vital role in moving forward. When your attention is fixed only on what you have not yet achieved, frustration quickly steals your joy. But when you take time to recognize how far you have already come, your perspective begins to change. Gratitude reminds you that every lesson learned, every obstacle overcome, and every opportunity received is evidence of progress. A grateful heart finds strength even during difficult seasons because it understands that every challenge carries the potential to produce wisdom and resilience. There will always be voices that tell you to settle, to lower your expectations, or to give up because the journey has taken longer than you expected. Do not allow temporary setbacks to define your future. Every setback carries a lesson. Every failure contains valuable experience. And every obstacle presents an opportunity to become stronger. Your greatest victories may emerge from the very seasons that once seemed impossible to endure. What appears to be the end of the road may simply be a turning point leading to a better direction. Keep showing up with confidence, even when recognition has not yet arrived. Continue developing your gifts even when no audience is applauding. Choose hope when fear seems louder. Choose discipline when excuses become tempting. And choose perseverance when progress feels slow. The future is shaped by the decisions you make today, not by the worries that try to hold you back. Every faithful step, every act of courage, and every consistent effort is carrying you closer to a life that reflects strength, purpose, and lasting fulfillment. As we come to the end of this message, remember that your life is not defined by what you can see today. The delays, the unanswered questions, the quiet seasons, and even the unexpected disappointments are not proof that your story has lost its direction. They are reminders that some of life's greatest transformations happen long before they become visible. Every challenge you have faced has strengthened you. Every setback has taught you something valuable. Every moment of waiting has been shaping the person you are becoming. Walk away from today with a different perspective. Stop allowing fear to write the story of your future. Stop measuring your worth by how quickly things happen. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's timeline. Instead, choose peace over panic, patience over frustration, gratitude over complaining, and courage over fear. Believe that every step forward, no matter how small, is taking you closer to a future greater than you can currently imagine. When tomorrow brings uncertainty, remember that uncertainty is not the same as defeat. When obstacles appear, remember that obstacles often become the stepping stones to your greatest victories. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself how many difficult seasons you have already survived. If you made it through those moments, you have the strength to overcome whatever lies ahead. Your greatest breakthrough may not begin with a loud announcement. It may begin with one quiet decision to keep believing, to keep growing, to keep moving forward, and to refuse to let temporary circumstances determine your permanent outlook. Every sunrise is another opportunity to begin again. Every new day offers another chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you were yesterday. Leave this place with confidence in your heart, hope in your spirit, and determination in every step. The path ahead may not always be easy, but it is filled with possibilities for those who refuse to quit. Keep your head high, keep your heart steady, keep your vision clear, and never underestimate what can happen when you choose peace instead of worry and perseverance instead of fear. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember this every time life feels uncertain. Relax, keep moving forward with confidence, and trust that every step is leading you toward a future greater than you ever imagined.